What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be installing new shift cables on my 2GR MR2. I got the 808 setup going on here. I'm doing this for two reasons. The first one is, I will be putting a new transmission in the car sometime, probably sooner rather than later. I'm pretty much just waiting for this one to blow up. And the second reason is the current transmission actually seems to be doing okay, except for the fact that it has this like weird issue with going into third randomly. I've had other people drive the car, they notice the same thing, and it can happen with the car on or off. It's just always third gear and it's intermittent. I've honestly replaced pretty much everything since I've owned the car, from different clutch setups to the slave cylinder, the bushings that go at the very end of the shift cables, literally everything. The only common denominator is the shift cables itself. They are the OEM ones. So I figured I would go ahead and switch them out to see if that makes a difference. This is everything that comes with the 808 shift cables, at least I think, and I say that because I've been sitting on this for a few months now, but this is at least what I could find. So it's the cables itself. It actually comes with this little thing that talks about if you're gonna use the Hux plate setup. Also has a link to the install video, so that makes it really nice. There is some additional heat wrap that'll go on one of the shift cables. It's closest to the header. And this is why I said I think I have everything. It did come with hardware, but it's possible that I lost some stuff since it's been sitting for so long. But this is what I found in my stuff, and I think that should be it. We're just gonna hop right into it. What you see on the screen right now is me pointing out the 4 clips that hold the cables in place. There's 2 for each side. And all you gotta do is undo both clips. And then after that, you're able to just push the cable back and like up, and that kind of clips it out of that main bracket that's attached to the transmission. With the cables detached, we'll go to the interior of the car. First step on the inside is removing the shift knob. This just unscrews. Then there's going to be the boot around it. You're gonna wanna pull up from the front end. If you pull from the back first, there's these little clips at the bottom that you'll probably end up breaking. That just leaves that plastic trim piece. And for that one, it's just pulling up from the back and then slowly working your way around. There's 4 little pins that help secure it to the chassis. The center console itself is held in with 6 screws. There's 3 on each side. So 2 of them are gonna be at the front. Then the remaining 4 are gonna be on the back, 2 on each side. Once those are removed, the center console just comes out. My chassis is an NA, so it never came with that little cubby right here. If you have that, it's pretty much the same process, except you'll have to undo 4 screws that hold the cubby in place. With everything out of the way, it was easy access to disconnect all the brackets that held the cable itself in place. There was the one at the firewall. There was this little gold one here. Each cable is connected to the lever, and then there's those 2 little clips that hold it to the bracket itself. Then the shift cables come out. It is a bit of a tight squeeze, so I ended up pulling one of them out first, followed by the second one. I'm really glad I decided to do this because the shift cables I had in the car definitely were worn and a problem. On this end, this particular guy actually has a lot of play right there. Anyways, these will probably just end up in the trash. I know some people like to see a side-by-side, so here's a quick clip of that. They do look pretty identical right off the bat. These look like they're a little bit beefier than these, at least like the casing itself. The heat wrap is significantly longer on the 808 ones than these ones. These, I would say, look pretty identical to these. I'm gonna kind of just ignore whatever you call this because it's 30 years old. Obviously, this is gonna feel better. This guy, I believe, will go where this one was, and obviously that's a little bit different. That's why it came with the bolt. And then this would replace this. So these are definitely beefier than the OEM stuff. Also, they're adjustable. I'm about to put the new cables in the car. One thing I did, and I don't know if this is the right thing or not, is that I essentially compared them to the old one and I adjusted them to roughly the right length. And to make sure they're right, I compressed these ends and then lined up the little holes right here. Although I will say, I think I'll figure out pretty quick if it's wrong because it won't go into gear and it'll feel off. And then the other thing is, I'm really glad I double read the instructions it came with, because when I first read this, I thought that you only use these spacers if you're using the Hux plate, but no, it sounds like these go on the transmission side. So for the bottom one there, you use a 4mm on each side, and then one of these ends will be sandwiched in between. On the other one, it looks like you use a 4mm on the bottom, and then 2mm spacer on the top. And that's exactly what I have here. And it also came with new cotter pins to hold it in place. I think the only hardware I'm gonna have to reuse then is like these guys right here, and the hardware that attaches the cable to this guy. I got a quick vacuum in, then I slid the first cable through the hole, and then I went to the engine bay side and pulled it through a little bit more. I found that gave me some more room, them and allowed me to slide the second cable in a lot easier. From there, I went right to work connecting them to the transmission. I do apologize because the clips really aren't the best. It's kind of a tight space to work in and film. Also, my light shut off halfway through, and GoPros really aren't the best in low light situations. Luckily, this part is pretty self-explanatory, and I did recharge my light just a little bit, so at least I can show you guys how it looks at the end. The cable that is on the left side here connects to the top. The cable that's on the right side of there connects to the very bottom there. And then the clips just go right back into place. Just make sure to really read the instructions to make sure you put the spacers in the right spot, because it clearly tells you where the spacers go. Now we can go over back to the inside of the car, connect them there, and then that's pretty much gonna be it. For the shift cable on the right, you just use the bolt that was supplied by 808. There is a specific order I saw in his video, so it's like the bolt, the shift cable, you then do the washer, the shift lever, you use that second washer, then you put the nut on. On the other cable, there's this plastic sleeve, and on one side it protrudes out just a little bit. I honestly wasn't sure if there's a specific direction it's supposed to go, so I attached the cable with the plastic piece facing the shift lever, and if it's an issue, I can always, you know, adjust it down the road. I then went through the gears, and honestly, everything felt good. It just needed a little bit of a minor adjustment. The minor adjustment it needed was just shortening up each of the sides by just a couple turns. I really like that these are adjustable because I don't think my transmission is going to last forever. You know, my guess is maybe a couple more events. And so when I go to switch out the new transmission, all I have to do is adjust the cables and I don't have to replace those. The last part of the installation is just locking down the locking nuts. This is straightforward, but the one thing that I made sure to do was to keep the joints relatively straight to minimize like any sort of binding. And with that done, I threw the interior back together. So the center console went back on, the trim, and then the shift knob itself. Everything's back together. I'm just gonna turn the car on real quick and row it through the gears just to make sure with the car on there's no issues. Probably should have done this earlier. All right, so neutral, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and reverse. It feels a lot smoother, which is no surprise because I'm going from, you know, literally 30-year-old cables to something that's brand new and upgraded. Overall, install went pretty smooth, I'd say. Feels a lot better. I think the big question for me is just gonna be like, how long or how well do they put up with abuse? I'm gonna assume pretty well, you know, because Bob tracks his stuff, and I'll be doing the same thing as him. Probably not to that level or that often, because I'll be probably like this year alone doing, I don't know, maybe 5-6 track days and a dozen autocross events. I think that guy's at the track like every other weekend. Anyways, if you guys got any questions on it, let me know. And with that, I'll see you guys at the next one where we're probably doing some more upgrades, getting this car ready for season, since my first track day is going to be April 18th at ORP. Thanks. See you guys in the next one.